Wow, look at these beautiful animals. And they are looking the background. You can see the background is full of ice everywhere. Now, I hope you can recognize these birds. These are called the penguins. These live in Antarctica. And look at the naughtiness of this bigger penguin. This bigger penguin is hitting the smaller one. And look at the laziness of this polar bear. And look at the mother's love here. Look at the small mother who is loving its small baby. And these you must have recognized. Jingle bell, jingle bell. Do you remember now? These are called the reindeers. These are also found in which place? Yes, you're right. We are learning about the polar region. Okay, let's see what is next. Now, dear children, look at this picture. This is the image of a globe. Here you can see the topmost point of the earth towards the north side is called the northern pole, and towards the south it is called as the southern pole, south pole. The northern area is called Arctic Circle and the southern area is called the Antarctic Circle. And both the places, they are full of ice because they receive very less sunlight. So let's see what is there in next slide. Now you can see the people, the hard, tough life of the people there. Here, can you recognize the first picture? It is called an igloo. People, those who live in the Arctic region, they make this type of houses and they live there. And the life is very tough in North Pole. So our lesson today. So dear children, here before starting the poem, this poem is about the polar region. Now we all have visited the hill station. You also have visited hill station of different places of India as well as of the world. You know that it is very cold in the hill station even during the summer season. So people generally go to hill station during the summer season. A few people, they go to hill station to see the snowfall during the winters also. Just like that, can you imagine a place where there is snow throughout the year? Yes, there are places in the world. Places like Arctic Circle and Antarctica, they have severe winters and extremely harsh climate because of the snow, snow-covered mountains, snow glaciers and all. Because that place receive not the direct sun rays, they receive the slanting sun rays. You can see the sun at the horizon there. Now, before starting or the explanation of the poem, this poem is written by Sanchit Saluja. I'll just recite this poem so that you can understand the correct pronunciation of the poem. Polar regions are full of ice and snow. The temperatures there are very low. So chilly and bitter is the climate. Summers there are always very late. The sunlight there is rather scarce, but the blizzards are angry and fierce. The Eskimos live in their tiny igloos, wearing hood jackets and big shoes. They may use harpoons, which look like spears, used to hunt to kill those large polar bears. The animals are the Arctic fox, bears, and ermine. With their ability to adapt, they survive just fine. In the older days, lived there the Lap with furry clothes and furry caps. Antarctica is a continent free. It is home to our dear Dakshin Gangotri. This poem is composed by Sanchit Saluja. Sanchit Saluja is a budding poet who likes to express his thoughts and ideas through simple and interesting rhymes. So let's start the poem. Now the first stanza says, Polar regions are full of ice and snow. The temperatures there are very low. So chilly and bitter is the climate. Summers they are always very late. It's written in a very simple language. Yeah, I have already explained you about the polar region. It is full of ice and snow because sun's rays hardly reach there. That's why the temperature is very low. It is full of ice throughout the year. Summers are very late and the duration is also very less. Now next is the sunlight there is rather scarce, but the blizzards are angry and fierce. The Eskimos live in their tiny igloos wearing hood jackets and big shoes. Now you can see the GIF of the sun which has been taken um, by the time lapse. You will come to know about the time lapse. It is a time lapse of 24 hours. That's why you can see the sun which is only at the horizon, because you know that Earth is tilted at 23.5 degree and it is making 66.5 degree angle. So the sun rays are not direct at these places. Now the snowstorms are very angry and fierce, very dangerous. Eskimos live in their tiny igloos. They make their igloos with ice blocks, wearing hood jackets and big shoes because it is very cold there. Now, dear children, in the next stanza, the poet wanted to tell us about, look at the picture first. Here, one man is using a weapon which he used to kill the animals which are there in the Arctic region. It is called as harpoon. It is just like a spear, or you can say javelin. Have you seen javelin throw by Neeraj Chopra? It is just like that. It is similar to that, but very pointed at the end to kill the animals, polar animals. Okay. Now let me read this stanza first and I'll explain it to you. They may use harpoons which look like spears used to hunt to kill those large polar bear. The animals are the Arctic fox, bears, and ermine. It is pronounced as ermine because R is silent here. R is silent here. With their ability to adapt, they survive just fine. So you can see this man, he's throwing the harpoon. So they throw it to kill the animals which live in the Arctic Circle. Now let's see which animals live in Arctic. They are called as the fox, bear, ermine. These animals, they are adaptable to that place. Now they have adjusted themselves to live there. So now let's see the last stanza. In the older days lived there the Lapps with furry clothes and furry caps. Antarctica is a continent free. It is home to our dear Dakshin Gangotri. Now here you can see two pictures. The above picture is of the people who live in the Arctic Circle, Arctic area. These people are called Lapps. Uh, they are also called Samis there. In English, we call them Eskimos. They live there since beginning. They used to wear the furry clothes and furry caps because of the extreme climate, extreme winters there, extreme cold there. Now, just below that picture, you can see that it is Antarctica. Antarctica is also a polar region. It is at the South Pole. So Antarctica is a continent free. It is home to our dear Dakshin Gangotri. So Antarctica is one of the 7 continents of the world, and many countries, they have established their research centers there. So the research center of India is known as Dakshin Gangotri. So this is a picture of the Dakshin Gangotri. So here in this form, the poet has described about the hard conditions of polar region. Now, few word meanings are also there, which I'll explain to you in the class. Now, I hope you have understood this form. If there is any doubt, you can clarify it in the class. Thank you very much for your patience listening.